The schools
for invocation. After invocation, please remain standing for the national anthem, to be followed by the Junction City alma mater and the Foreman alma mater. Let's pray together. Heavenly Father, we just want to give you praise and give you thanks. Thank you for a great evening. Thank you for a great opportunity that we have and to come together this evening and to witness this contest between Junction City and Foreman. Father, I want to thank you for Junction City and for their school, for their players. And I thank you for Foreman, the school, the players. I thank you for our communities and the opportunity we have to come together. I pray that you would be with the young men as they play the game tonight. I pray that you would help them to play to the best of their abilities this evening. I pray that you would keep them from all injuries, Lord. Father, we pray that they would play with great sportsmanship. We pray that as fans tonight that we would show great sportsmanship in supporting these young men. We just can't thank you enough for all the blessings you provide, and thank you for all that you've done. And we give you praise in the name of Jesus, our Savior. Amen.
from the heart of Little River County. They have been parking them in Oklahoma, and they're parking them in Texas because tonight it is the big game, the state semifinals featuring the number 1 ranked Foreman Gators taking on your 3rd ranked Junction City Dragons. Good evening, I'm Wayne Pumphrey, and welcome to the Dragon Sports Network's coverage of Junction City football. And folks, this is the one everybody's been waiting on. The defending champion Foreman Gators coming in with, I believe, only 1 loss on their record, and that was to Smackover. And everybody's seen Smackover play. Mineral Springs, I think, might have got them. But I know for sure that they have been on a roll in these playoffs, and it's going to be interesting tonight to see how this comes out. Joining me up here on top of the press box, and literally, folks, we're on top of the press box. Let me say this right now. We've been laughing about this all evening. I stood on the same press box, November 16, 2001, videoed the game between Junction City and Foreman, and that was the Dragons' first road playoff win. Standing to my right over here was was one of the managers for the Dragons. The ball boy for the Dragons that night is the head coach for Junction City now. And there was a sophomore lineman by the name of Gary Meeks. Coach, it is great to have you here tonight. Yes. First things first, let's talk about what Junction City's got to do. And I know you want to start with the defense. So tell us what we got to do defensively tonight to make that trip to Little Rock next Friday.
Defensively, it's all going to have to start up front, tackling well. The kid, he going to want to get to the outside. We got to have defenders there, got to wrap up. We got to gain tackle. We can't have one guy sitting there white tackle. We can have all 11 there tackling. And defense line up front, we're running that veer offense. They got to have some pressure up front, get a lot of pressure from the defensive lineman up front that cause heavy.
Okay. Offensively, what do you want to see out of Junction City?
Finishing drives. I've been hitting on that all playoffs. When they get in the purple zone, they got to finish. They got to put points up on the board. And this game right here going to come down in the trenches, which offensive line, defensive line wanted more. Once we get inside the 30, we got to put points up on the board and finish drives. Like I said, I've been hitting on that all playoff games. So hopefully, the Dragons going to come out with a good game plan and, we come right here with a victory.
Okay, some players you want to see big games out of. Start with defense.
Defensive line, on defensive line, I want Samaje Leviston, Kyle Kidwell. Kyle Kidwell has been playing awesome all year long. And, this is the game right here where you need him. You got to have another another good game out of your defensive lineman, senior defensive lineman, Samaje Leviston. He's been a leader. He's been a leader of that defensive line, spearing by Kidwell. So them 2 right there and the linebackers. But I'm mainly focusing on Kidwell and Leviston up front.
Okay. Offensively, who's some of the guys you want to see something out of?
I don't know where to start. You got number 4. You got to watch for Cook. You got Haynes at number 12. And you got Gibson at number 10. So, you really want big games out of your senior. You know what I mean? Like I said, this could be his last game. You want him to leave it all on the field. So, hopefully you get good games out your senior.
Okay. And also, overall, Junction City, some of the things they've been working on and improving, you want to see it tonight all come together. Right now, folks, we're going to step away for a little bit, but we're going to stay here actually and do the public address announcement from the Arkansas Activities Association.
Participating in this football playoff game are members of the Arkansas Activities Association as authorized by their school boards. The administrators of these schools have helped to write the rules and regulations that govern participation of students in competitive activities for the school that are members of the AAA. The Arkansas Activities Association, which is sponsoring this football playoff game, is a voluntary, nonprofit educational association of some 500 junior and senior public and private high schools of Arkansas. The regulations which guide these events are adopted by the schools themselves and determine the type of program they believe to be the most desirable of the high school youth. The Arkansas Activities Association is one of 50 state organizations that belong to the National Federation of State High School Associations. This association formulates policies, game rules, and standards for inter-school competition. The schools of Arkansas have adopted these rules on eligibility, which correspond with those recommended by the National Federation. The school
All right, we are back. Both teams are on the field. They have not come through their tunnels or signs yet. So while we're waiting on that, we're going to step away 1 minute. You're watching Junction City football on the Dragon Sports Network. We are back at Foreman Field. Junction City Dragons have taken the field. We're waiting on the Foreman Gators. They're going through their, I guess you call it ritual here. They're going to come out of the little tunnel over there and take the field. Junction City, this is their 14th trip, I believe, to the state semifinals in the past 18 seasons. And the defending state champions take the field. We got fireworks and all that good stuff. And they're ready to go. Foreman, main key for them, we got a man that's fixing to talk about it here. Word got out a while ago there was a guy on a mule riding with a dragon flag coming up from New Boston, Texas, and I could only think of one person, and that's the voice of the Junction City Dragons for the Dragon Sports Network, Mr. Jacob Pumphrey. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here. I tell you what, when this season started and you were circling on the schedule, I think everybody was waiting for this matchup. They didn't know when it would happen, where in the playoffs it would happen, but I think everybody wants to see what we're going to see for 4 quarters tonight. I tell you what, I'm excited. Playoff atmosphere. It's standing room only here at Memorial Stadium. You cannot ask for anything better.
No,
I tell you what, this is what it's all about right here.
Yes, sir. And like I said, Jacob, when we came on earlier, they're parking them, folks. They're parking them in Oklahoma and Texas right now, and there are still people getting in here. Junction City set to kick it off. And with that, I'm going to turn it all over to Mr. Jacob Pumphrey.
Jack Smith with things teed up from his own 40-yard line. Junction City, purple hats, white jerseys, purple bottoms. Foreman all maroon. It'll bounce around, still on the turf. Beatty will pick it up at around the 10-yard line, and he's going to be pushed up, run out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And the Foreman faithful wanting a flag there on a late hit. Mike could have gotten one, but I say let's just let the boys play.
I agree. I tell you, this crowd here, the Gator fans especially, I mean, needless to say, Junction City fans are ready. There's no doubt. But these Gator fans have been fired up. We rolled in here right at 4 o'clock or a little before 4, and there was a few of them here to greet us. They were ready for this game, Jacob, no doubt.
Foreman to operate out of the flex bone, and it's all going to revolve around number 5, Kyron Beatty, named earlier this year, Class 2A Player of the Year by 42 Sports. The namesake of that award, a man who had a pretty good game here 18 years ago, Mr. Kevin Payne. Beatty looks at his wrist. He'll get under center. Flex bone formation, single receiver to each side. And they're going to give to the fullback. He's going to barrel forward for a couple of yards. Several Dragons in on the stop. Jakyron Cook, Cody Atkins, and Samaje Livingston getting off the bottom of the pile.
Coach Meeks, that's one of the things he touched on, and that's what you're going to have to see out of this Dragon defense, shutting them down, especially with that fullback right off the bat. The more options you cut out, the better.
Harvest gold-colored field. You know it's playoff football, and they're still rolling here into Memorial Stadium. Second down, we'll call it about 6 here from atop the press box. Beatty looks to the sideline. Head coach Mark King will give him another play. Looks back to his wrist. Junction City operating 5-2 defense. Deep man in motion. And they're going to give to the fullback once more. He's going to barrel forward. Tanner Barnett, the first Dragon to get to him.
Now, one thing you got to do, Jacob, one thing they've got to do, you can't let them have too much success in that middle. You know, they got a good bit of chunk of yardage there. Like I said, the more you can cut down, the better. We definitely need a big game out of everybody, but especially Livingston and Kidwell.
Big third down, early third down. Third down and 1 for Foreman. They fake the deep motion, and they'll settle back. They'll look back to the sideline, change the play. Beatty under center. And he'll fake the give. He'll keep it himself. He's got the first down a little more as he moves up across the 35-yard line.
A good move by Beatty. You could tell that when the first, like the initial hit, he spun off it and showed some athleticism there, picking up the first down. About a gain of 6 or 7. Sets them up 1st and 10, Jacob, at the 35.
And Junction will have to be careful and watch that. They've been keeping it in tight. They're going to flare something out here for too long. 10-19 clock running, first quarter action. Class 2A state semifinals. Beatty to throw. Pressured. Livingston gets a hand on him. Beatty out of the tackle. Hit as he throws, and it is complete.
Nice play.
Nicely done.
Give them credit. Nice play. Beatty kind of bought a little time there, had pressure on him, and his receiver come back and met him, Jacob, and saved the day.
And that was Robbie Smith on the reception. I tell you what, Beatty got popped, but a great job by the young man to pop up off the turf. And he's got Foreman here, 2nd down and 2 after the 8-yard completion. Ball set on the near hash, 43-yard line. Gators moving left to right. Clock's at 9:40. Nice cool night here in Little River County. And they give to the fullback again, straight up the gut. First down, down across midfield. And that's firing up the Foreman faithful. That's Chase Boyd, the senior fullback.
Junction making some adjustments. That's what I was watching here, Jacob. Junction's making a couple adjustments. They're keeping the players in there, but they're moving some people around on the defensive line. I guess you could say, making a few adjustments there. Also at linebacker.
It's been nothing flashy for the Gators so far. That's not their MO. First down and 10. Ball at the 46-yard line of Junction City. 9:15 to play, opening quarter. Again, they'll stop, look to the sideline, reset the play. Beatty under center, deep man in motion, and they'll pitch to him. We've got whistles. First whistles of the night, and I believe it came from the far side.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's going to be a false start. We'll have a neutral zone infraction, something of that nature most likely.
Let's see. First penalty of the night comes at the 9:07 mark. And we got motion on the Gators, so that'll back them up.
So that'll back Foreman up back across midfield. Ball now spotted at their 49-yard line. Bring up a first down and 15. 9:07 to play, first quarter action. If you're just joining us, Dragon Sports Network's coverage of Junction City football. Class 2A number 3 Dragons and the Class 2A number 1 Foreman Gators, the defending state champions, clashing for a trip to War Memorial next Friday night. And they'll pitch it left. He's got some running room. Might have been a hold out there on the edge. No call. Jakyron Cook was fighting with his right arm. Probably would have tried to fight with his left had he been able to use it. No call, and that'll be a gain of about 12. Bring up a 2nd down and 3 as we've hit under 8:45 to play in the opening quarter.
Cook was in position and getting in position, I should say. He was in the right spot, saw what was happening. And, it was obvious as everything. He could not get loose to make a play, but no one to call it.
Methodical drive here so far for the Gators. And Beatty will fake, and he will run out of an arm tackle, but he will not be able to get out of the grasp of Tanner Barnett. And I believe that is Javassier Cook.
Jacob, you talked about their MO a while ago. This is what they want to do. They want to take their time. They want to eat clock. They want a short game. And if you're Junction City, if you can shut them down, make some stops, get the ball back, and you get the lead on them, then you're going to force them out of what they want to do. And right here, this opening possession, every possession is going to be important, but especially this one starting out.
False, and they're going to blow whistles, false start. The wing back up here, that's Robbie Smith. Tried to get a little bit too much of a jump there, and that'll back Foreman up 5 more yards. Bring up a 1st and 15 from the Junction City 40. 8:04 to play, opening quarter. We are scoreless. First drive of the game for the Gators.
yards marked off, 1st and 15 for the Gators back at the Dragon 40-yard line.
Again, they look to the sideline.
And a little confusion. There's some confusion there between, I think, the quarterback and the coaching staff.
6 on the play clock. Deep motion. Beatty's going to throw. Drops. He's directing his receiver. He's going to try to throw on the run. Keeps it instead. He tucks it underneath, and he'll pick up a couple of yards there, trying to get his receiver, Robbie Smith, to come back to him.
And a great job, an outstanding job by Junction City to contain him. You notice how they played it. Cook coming up. The defensive line, nobody overcommitted. In other words, we're going to keep him contained and close in on him, and he really had nowhere to go. He wanted Smith to kind of come back like he did a while ago on that earlier completion and was not able to do it.
Minimal gain by Beatty on the keeper. We'll give him 2 yards. 2nd down and 13. Clock is stopped at 7:56. For those of you listening on the radio, thanks for tuning in. 101.5 The Hog. Glad to have you aboard. Smith, the deep man in motion. Beatty to roll out to his right. And he's wrapped up from behind and tossed out of bounds. Nice play right there by Jamiah Carroll. I tell you what, this Dragon defense has had a lot of guys step up this year, but one of the guys that's kind of an unsung hero since the season started has been Jamiah Carroll out there on that edge.
Right, you know, you think of when you hear his name, you think, okay, he does pretty good, does good on offense. He does an outstanding job on defense and has been showing it. I mean, really has come through.
His best plays he's made for Junction City this year don't show up in the box score. 7:48 to play, first quarter action. We're scoreless. Big 3rd down for both teams, probably a little bit bigger for Junction City. 3rd down and 13 for the Gators. They're going to stack it heavy to the left side, 2 wide receivers. Beatty is going to spread out and try to keep it. Going to try to get to the edge, nowhere to go. Ball's on the turf. They're going to say he was down, but that's going to bring up a 4th down and about 10. I tell you what, great pursuit by the Dragon defense. They reminded me of kind of the way Bearden used to do it back in the day. Load them up left, everybody just slow read to the left. Beatty couldn't find anywhere to run out there on that edge.
Okay, interesting call here on 4th down, what the Gators will do. I believe they are, just I start to say, it looks like they might go for it. I see the punt unit going onto the field. So 4th and 10. And folks, bear with us. We are up here by the PA and everything else, and we're at the mercy of this old press box, and wires running all around up here. So it's a little bit of a problem, but we're going to make it. We're going to be all right. 4th down, the punt, nice punt. It kicks it away from Junction City's return. Now they get a real good roll, and it's going to depend on where they're going to say he downed it at about the 1. We'll see. We're going to step away for 30 seconds. You're watching Junction City football on the Dragon Sports Network. .701 remaining first quarter. Junction City will start inside their 1-yard line, 1st and 10. It's going to be a keeper by Hutchinson. Hutchinson got some running room, running hard, holding on to the ball, goes to about the 14. Outstanding play. And I almost said Kendall Hutchinson by Brady Hutchinson. An outstanding play. Gets Junction City some real good field position. It'll set them up 1st and 10 from the Dragon 14. Immediately on the ball. Hutchinson under center looking. It's going to be a give. This is going to be, that is Gibson. Gibson's going to get about 5. They hit him pretty hard, but not before he picks up about 5 yards.
Yeah, and Beatty was the one that met him in the hole, and after those two got up off the turf, they kind of acknowledged each other, realizing, I mean, let's be honest, 2 of the top players in the state, regardless of classification right there.
Absolutely.
So a little acknowledgement from both of them, you know.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a good one tonight between them two. 6.5 to play, first quarter action. Dragons had the football for the first time tonight. They got a trips formation to the right, and they're going to swing it out to Jakyron Cook. He's met in the backfield. He gets a block. He's still on his feet. They're going to throw a flag. I don't know about it. Cross midfield, 30, 25, and finally wrapped up as he gets inside the purple zone. But there is a flag, and it's probably going to be a hold or a block in the back.
I want to see, because I was watching where I was watching the play.
I hope it wasn't the block that I saw,
I
because
feel
the one
say,
I
if it-
saw was as clean as they come.
They don't get any cleaner than that. You cannot get tied and put on it and make it any cleaner than that. And let's see, I'd be dead blamed. That is pitiful. They've already missed a couple calls already. And, you know, we don't, well, you reload and come back. 6:08 remaining first quarter. There is no score. Great play there by the Dragons and a very poor call.
A great job by Cook there. He was met in the backfield. That would have been about a 2, 3, 4-yard loss. Used his athleticism, and then he used his speed. And I tell you what, he's got some to burn right there. 6:08 to play first quarter after the penalty. Bring up a second down. We'll call it 5 for the first. Cook and Hill, they'll move from the left to the right, create a trips formation with Haynes top of the formation. Far hash. Hutchison gives to Gibson. He's got the first down as he moves up to the 45-yard line.
And that'll move the chains. 5:51 remaining. First quarter. Ball sitting on the Dragon 25. This drive began inside the 1-yard line.
Big run by Brady Hutchison on first and 10. That they're going to call a penalty, but I don't believe it should be, because he had not started the clock yet. He had not started the play clock.
The head official hadn't, and that's what they're talking about. I tell you, this is, I mean, you have got to be on your game too as an official. I'm sorry. I know people, don't criticize. You got a job to do. You got one job to do. Do it. They did not move till he started blowing that whistle and what.
And he wears the white hat for a reason. He should have
right.
control out
He
there.
has control out. He's supposed to. Let's say that.
First down and 15 after the penalty. Spot pass in and out of the hands of Haynes. If he hauls it in, he would have had to make a man miss. Great closure right there by the far side corner. But still incomplete, falls on the turf, stops the clock with 5:39 to play.
Okay. You brought up a good point, Jacob. He's got to make a man miss. They are playing up tight on him, and I've said this all along, and I'm going to say it again. You cannot play one-on-one with Haynes.
They've got a quads formation. Kidwell with a big block.
He's got
They
run.
get it out to Haynes. He's going to run by Beatty and finally is forced out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. He's got a first down. That'll reset the chains.
Okay, talked to Coach Jones earlier this week. He called me up, come on by the field house, let's visit. Got on the chalkboard, started showing a couple things. They have found some weaknesses in the Foreman defense they want to try to exploit. That's one of them there. Watch, folks, when you see that bunch formation, they are looking, and that should be on Foreman. All sides right there, as you saw on the thing.
Great job by Hutchison. Had him on a hard count. They stopped, and then he went and changed the play, got the guy to jump across. And I tell you what, I know we can't talk about it right in this moment, but how about Kyle Kidwell? You talk about a hard hat, lunch pail kind of guy.
Yes,
man,
sir.
I'd go to battle with that young man any day.
Oh, any day and twice on Sunday. He is one of those you love to have with you. You in that alley fight, you want Mr. Kidwell with you. And that's one of the guys Coach Meeks mentioned, I want a big game out of Kyle. I mean, you can hear Gary, you can hear enthusiasm, boy, I want a big game out of Kyle. He was saying it before he went on air.
Dragons knocking on the midfield stripe. They give to
great
Cook.
move.
He'll pick up the first down. He's down across midfield and inside the 40-yard line. Late hit coming over the pile, no call. But that'll reset the chains for Junction City. Nice little run right there by Jakyron Cook.
And the Dragons are doing what you want to see with these weapons. And let's go back to it. You call Cook's name. You called Haynes' name. You called Gibson's name. I'll finish this after this play.
And they're going to fake to Gibson. Hutchison's going to keep it, and that's going to be a nice little run by Brady Hutchinson. I tell you what, I think everybody in the stadium thought Gibson was getting it on that carry. Hutchinson picks up 9. He's got 2 big carries this drive for 23 yards.
A great run there by Hutchinson, and that gives them something else to think about. What I was going to say, remember what Coach Jones told us before the strong game. Changed up the offense. I'm putting all my playmakers out there. Well, right now, folks, all these adjustments you saw during the season is coming to fruition right here.
And they give to Gibson, and he's met in the hole. But a nice little push there on the back end. If you had to guess, I'd say Kyle Kidwell helps his teammate out, pushes him across. First down for Junction City. And I tell you what, as methodical as Foreman was on their opening drive, the Dragons are answering right back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They are. And this is a very nice drive. We're down to 4:40 in the first quarter. Dragons with it. Here goes Gibson.
He gets a block from Haynes. 10, 5. He's got Beatty. He ran it. He trucked him. Oh, my. Trucks him at the 3 and out of bounds. I tell you what, you tip your hat to Dante Gibson. Did not shy away from contact and trucked it. Oh, wow. What a run.
Excellent run. And now the Dragons from the inside their 1 to the Foreman 1. Jacob, they've traveled the length of the field. Let's finish it, guys. And another flag down. Let's see what we got here. Jacob, I'm going to leave that one up to you.
Yeah, I don't know. 4:30 to play, first quarter action.
Boy.
False start backs Junction City up to their 6. Still in great opportunity here. Actually, they'll mark it at the 7. First and goal for the Dragons.
And I guess now let's see what we got here.
Yeah.
I'm very curious. There we go. You got to call that one. I mean, you can't miss it.
And the Dragons are going to get that yardage right back as the far side defensive end for the Gators jumps across the line before the snap.
Yep. So we'll go back to where we were at. And it'll be a first and goal from the 2-yard line. 4:30 to go.
And Junction City, there's the whistles now. The Dragons have driven 92 yards, 7 more, and they've got the game's first score. As they'll face a first and goal from the 2. The officials talk some things over. No flags were thrown.
I think it's just making sure we're all on the same page. Let's hope that's what it was.
And it looks like everybody's on the same page. Hutchison, he'll work out of the pistol. Cook set directly behind him. 2 receivers to the far side. Kidwell, the man in motion. And Cook's going to lay it on the turf. And the Gators are going to come up with the football. Jakyron Cook just never got it into his hands.
He was not even looking. You could tell looking elsewhere. And one of the problems, and it's something Coach Meeks talked about, sometimes when you get down close like that, go with the veteran, Gibson. You know, you want to go with somebody sure. He was not paying attention well enough, and now that'll hurt the Dragons. 4:26 remaining, first quarter. The drive went from the inside the 1 to the Foreman 8.
About a 93-yard drive that does not result in points. And now the Gators are going to go to trips formation. And they're going to spread it out once more. And Samaje Livingston, Tanner Barnett, Kidwell, and Atkins all in on the stop. And I'm not sure, going back to that fumble by Cook, not sure if he saw a maroon jersey flash, wanted to try to make a move before he actually got the football or what. But that's costly for Junction City because I tell you what,
Dragons.
You could hear a pin drop here on the Foreman side. But now a little more life here with the Gator fans.
It's going to be a nice game, but Beatty, give him credit. Nice run. He picked up about 7 on that, so it's 2nd and 3.
And they're going to give to the fullback. Straight ahead, he's got a first down. That's Boyd, and I tell you what, they haven't had an answer for Boyd so far tonight. I think one of the reasons why they weren't able to use him late in the drive is because they got behind the chains and they didn't necessarily want to go to him, but Junction City hadn't been able to stop the fullback dive.
And that was one of the things Coach Meeks talked about. He wants a big game out of those linemen to shut it down, and we talked about this. You want to take away all the options you can from the Gators in this flex bone and then force them to do stuff they don't want to do.
Beatty under center, they're give to Boyd, and he is wrapped up and hugged by Samaje Livingston.
And that will bring up Jacob a second, and let's call it about 9. 3:14 remaining in the first quarter. Very fast-moving first quarter. Both teams don't mind getting on the ground and rolling with it like they did. I think only one pass completed by Foreman on theirs, and I think the Dragons might have had one, and that was it. And as you see, folks, they're going to take their time. This is, like you said, Jacob, excellent analysis earlier. This is their MO. Let's don't get in a hurry. Let's take our time.
And Junction City had a chance to put some pressure on them there early as they give to Boyd again. Right up the gut. That's been about 75% of their offense so far tonight.
Yep.
And it's worked out for them for the most part.
I concur with that.
He'll pick up about 4 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 4.
And this is what they want to be in situations where they got a very good line. They got a very good line. this is the things they like to do. And with Beatty back there at quarterback, he can make the moves if he needs to get them that yards. And as you see here, again, not in a big hurry. Clock is already down to 10 as he gets under center.
Single back formation. Beatty under center, 2 receivers to his right, a single receiver to his left. Little miscommunication. He faked left. The back went right, but he got in behind his left guard and picked up the first down. And that'll reset the chains for the Gators here with 2:04 to play in the first quarter. Scoreless from Memorial Stadium here in the heart of Little River County.
Beautiful. And, folks, I tell you what, we'll talk to the radio real quick. I know you're listening to us. If you need to take a timeout, go with it. Both these teams, there's not really the opportunity right now to break away.
And they're going to go back around. Javassier Cook, nowhere to go, wraps up and drops. Chandler Green for a loss. Actually, they'll give him the line of scrimmage. So they'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 as we're under a minute and a half to play here in the first quarter.
Gators just, like I said, we've said it several times already, and not in a big hurry. They'll check the sideline for the play, and then they're actually going to run a pretty fast one here on 2nd and 10.
And they're going to pass. Beatty's got time, throws, and it's picked off by Cook at the 48. He's going to work toward the Dragon sideline, gets a block, runs out of another tackle, finally wrapped up and dropped inside the 20-yard line. I tell you what, he threw it right to him, and yeah, he did. He redeemed himself. Picks it off from the 48, takes it down to the 20. That's about a 28-yard return.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's very, very good. You're right, Jacob. Outstanding run there by Cook after the interception to set the Dragons back up in excellent field position. 55.7 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Junction City will go to work from the 19-yard line of Foreman, 1st and 10. And, Jacob, you want to capitalize on this one. I mean, there's no doubt right here you want to make this mistake by Foreman pay.
And
Gibson gets the call.
And he breaks out of a couple tackles. He's still on his feet. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Junction City.
Outstanding run by Dante Gibson. Outstanding run. He got it, and the last few steps he knew he was fixing to get hit. And, I mean, he just launched himself and got in the end zone to capitalize on the Gator mistake. And with 47.7 seconds remaining in the first quarter, Junction City draws first blood, 6-zip. And the Dragons, no doubt, I think, are fixing to go, let's see, going for 2. We're going to cue the radio. After this play, we're going immediately to a 30-second break. Here's the gift straight ahead. Not sure. Don't think he got it. Let's see. They're going to say, no, he did not get it. 47.7 remaining first quarter. Our score, Junction City 6, Foreman nothing. You're watching and listening to Junction City football on the Dragon Sports Network. .7 remaining in the first quarter. Junction City strikes first. 6-0 is the score. The Dragons getting ready to kick off. Foreman already has the kick return team on the field. And waiting on Junction City to come out. And here come the Dragons. Junction City earlier, starting from inside the Foreman, from their own 1-yard line, from inside their own 1, goes 92 yards, but gets nothing out of it. A fumble by Cook. But Cook makes up for it with an interception return on the following possession by the Gators after they took over. And then Gibson finished it off with a very nice run. Jack Smith ready to go. The Dragons will kick, and they're going to onside kick it, and let's see.
And they've got it.
I believe
Dante
they do.
Gibson. comes away with it. It's going to be Junction
Yes.
City football. Jack Smith lined up like he was going to normally just kick it.
And now I think he's fixed to be overruled, Jacob. One official gave it to Junction City. And now the discussion continues. Let's see. Hold everything. This don't sound too good. Don't look too good either.
It makes you wonder how a guy can touch the ball and it still stay on its same projected path from when it was kicked off the tee.
Yeah, nobody touched it, and they're saying that Junction touched it.
Successful onside kick by the Dragons, but the ball bounced off one of their players at the 49, first and 10 for the Gators.
Yeah, that's what I do not understand this. They're still discussing it. I mean, one of the officials is saying hold everything. Now here comes another one in, and now the white hat rules Gator ball. I think the officials actually disagree with each other here.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. The onside kick went to the far side of the field. And the official, the line judge on the near side of the field, made the call that said it touched a Dragon player before it was recovered by Junction City, obviously before the 10 yards.
Right, you're right. And what's crazy is there's still one of the officials was arguing with the others, it looked like, about it. That nonetheless, it's all settled. 49-yard line of Junction City is where they're going to go to work from, first and 10.
Let's just make sure we don't make it about ourselves. 47.7 to play. First quarter action, Junction City 6, Foreman 0. Great field position for the Gators. First and 10 from the Dragon, 49, Beatty. He'll keep it. He's bounced outside. He's going to look to get the corner. Still on his feet. Finally